Hi guys, welcome back to Core Java tutorial. This is the fifth tutorial of Core Java, and today we are going to discuss very important topics. The topics will be string, exception handling, and inner classes. So first we can see string in Java. So string is a data type in Java, like how we have data types like int, float, and all. So int, float, and all will be used for storing numerical elements, numerical values like 10 or 20 or something, or decimal numbers like 10.5, 20.6, these kind of elements. And so if you want to save any name, suppose first name and last name, and for that we need some data type to be available in any programming language. So if you see in C programming language, so there is no string data type over there. So they used to create a array of characters, and every time they have to loop through the array of characters, and they will be listing names over there. So that is how C programming follows. So later in the latest programming languages like C, like Java and .NET. So we have a string data type. The advantage of string data type is like this is also internally it is actually looks it works like a sequence of characters, but as a programmer, so we don't need to worry about creating an array of characters and storing our names in the array of string character type, and so it's simply declaring string and declaring variable name and assigning values. uh, so this comes under java.lang package. So java.lang is a default library, comes from the Java library. Once you install the Java, so this class will be by default available. There are two ways we can able to create a string object. One is string literal, other is a new keyword. We can see it practical how it is. So this is our core Java project, and we have the previous code, control statement, loops, and packages. So I'll be creating a new package for strings. So creating a package we are already aware, and if you forgot, this is the way to create. Just right click on the existing package, and you can, or src if you want, or you can directly click on src, right click on project package you can create. The name is com.codejava.string. So if you see the error messages, right, when you're creating package, suppose if you're creating package like this, it is mentioning package already exists. So these this kind of suggestions will be getting from the IDE. So if you're doing in manual way like a notepad and all, until unless we compile the code, we don't know the errors. So these the benefit of using IDEs like Eclipse. So I'll be creating a package called string, or string I can put anything. So these are package info. If you want to add a package info, this will be added, and there is a other Java file will be created which is about metadata for the package. There you can have metadata information, and as we discussed earlier, suppose if you want to create a Java documentation, so if we need the package related metadata details and all, so these the file. If you check this one, and you can able to write the metadata details. Now I'm not going to cover this, and you can try it on your own. There is not much we are going to write in real time as well, so that is the reason I'm not covering in these tutorials. So now I created a strings package for our string class. So I'm just creating a class called string test. So I'll be adding main method. So I'm a lazy guy, I don't want to write a main method on my own. I'm just giving the work to IDE. So as we discussed in presentation, like there are two ways to create a string object. One is string literal, other one is string creating using new keyword. So first we can go with the string literal. The way to do is as I mentioned, so like how int and float we are declaring, the same way we'll be using data type declaration as string. That's it. And variable name is first name, then assignment operator, and the literal is simply double quotes. That's it. So we can put any name, James. That's it. So I'll be printing that value for our reference. So as a shortcut I mentioned, if you type sys out and control space, then it will actually print to automatically populate system.out.println. So that will save time for us. And for first name, that's it. So I'm just printing that value. You can see there is no output in the console. Just run as every time I'm actually doing this work. So I'm right clicking this file and running as Java application. So there is a other way you can do it. If you are in the main class, whatever the main class it is, so you can directly go through the shortcut. So it will show it is the shortcut. You don't need to right click and run that Java file. That much long process is not required. So you just need to click on run. That's it. Just need to click on this button. That if you just h over this, so it will actually tell what buttons are indicating what. So this is the first run icon, and put it. It is actually mentioning run string test, which is our class. So that's it. If the make sure the class, whatever the class you're running, that should have main method. So then it will run it. That's it. So this is a way of creating string literal, and you can have last name as well. So why should I put? I put Kim. I'll be printing both the values. So this is how you can put string data type in your programming. So this will be. These are one way of creating. I'm doing this. I can use shortcut. So this is how the output we got printed. So this is the one way of creating Java string object. There is other way to create, which is about new keyword. The way to do this is just type string. Suppose what it is. Maybe designation. So I'll be using different way of creating string. Instead of double quotes, I'll be using different way of creating. So instead of the way to do this is just use new keyword string of and the value. What is the value you have that you can directly assign. So if you're a manager, then you just do it. Sys out designation, just auto populate it. That's it. We'll see the difference. What will be the difference, will be there or not. So that's it. There's no difference at all. When you create string using string literal, this is a way to create string literal, and this is a way to create using new operator. So there is no difference you are seeing with this, but actually there is a difference. The way to creating this and this, there is a lot of difference. I'll explain you in a minute. So before that, you can see how to compare strings in Java. So there are three different ways we can able to compare the strings as listed here, like by equals method or by double equal to and compare to method. So the right way to do this is equals method, and I'll tell you why the other two are not much preferred to compare the strings, and we'll see how it actually differs if you're using the other operators other than equals method to compare the strings. We'll see it practical now. So I'm just removing this code for now. So for equals, I'm just giving string name 1, string name 2, 2 will be fine for now. So I'll be taking a boolean for getting what response it is, or I can directly print it in sysout. That will be straightforward. You can put it in here. So name 1 dot equals name 2. So I've just printed here. So we'll see how this will actually compare. I'm just clearing the string. Previous log I cleared it and just I'm running it. So this is true. True means they both are same. So what will happen, suppose if I run it using J, if I put small instead, so these are capital J and this is small j I gave, and both are James only. So what will happen if the output if we see, I'm just running this Java file, we can see the output as false. The reason is these two are not matching. So the first one is having J capital and second one is having J small. So what if the requirement is having, like, if I need to compare both of them, even if it is equal or unequal. So if I need to, so for us it will be like if there is a case if we need to compare both the strings, and even if it is fine if the case is small or capital. So what are the fine? For that case we have to use the other method, which is name 1 dot equals ignore case. See guys, you can able to see all the suggestions what kind of methods will be there with this. Suppose if you just click on dot itself, you'll be getting all the available methods within the string. So for now I'm using equals ignore case of name 2. We'll see both the statements. We get to know the difference, what will be the difference for both of them. And see, the second statement is giving true. The reason is this will actually check case sensitive. All the characters has to be same ordering and the same case, and this will actually check only the order of the string, and it won't check the capital letter or small letter. Case sensitive, it won't check. It's insensitive, case check it will check, and it will actually print the result. So depends on your requirement, you can use either of them. So these about equals and equal ignore case. And if you put both are capital, then you can expect both are true as expected. So these are one way of comparing strings. The other way is comparing with double equal to operator. Usually the double equal to will be used for comparing two numbers. So what is the reason here we are mentioning like compare with double equals for strings also? We can see it now. So the way to do this is just write sys out, or we can keep it in a boolean variable. That will be clear actually. For readability it will be helpful. Result name 1, I'll be putting double parentheses, just writing, or I need to just populate it. Typo and all it will go. So I'm just comparing these. Don't confuse guys. So this is just about I'm just checking this value and assigning to boolean variable. Or if you're really confusing, then I can put it in this out itself. We'll see what this result will be. So this is giving true. So but there is no guarantee always this is giving true. Now it is giving true. but there is no guarantee of giving always this giving true. Suppose I'll tell you this way. I'll prove it right now. Instead of taking string name as true, I'll take the other way of declaring string we know already, which is new string of James. I'll put the same case James. So now see, there's no difference at all. I'm just to change the declaration type of the declaration. So I just changed, instead of directly using literal string literal assignment, so I'll be using new keyword for creating a James string. So these already we have already covered it, and how to create a string with the new keyword, and this is the way to do it. And I'm just checking the condition right now. False. See, now with the same strings, with the same data, with the same camel case, and with the same characters, it is giving false. So that is the reason this is not at all recommended to use in your programming for comparing any strings. It's preferred to use equals or equals ignore case methods for comparing strings. First, we can see what is the reason it is giving false. So the reason is this will actually stores in different memory. Suppose if this is stored in address called as, suppose this address is suppose 100, and this address will be address it in terms of memory allocation for this variable will be 200. It will not be same. What this will do is double equal to a character, it actually checks the address, not the values. What the exact values it is having, it won't check the values, it will actually check the addresses. 100 equal to 200, it's a false obvious, so that is the reason it is failing. So this will fails always, and this case for name1 and name2, for name2 also address will be 100. The reason is the type of the declaration is same. And if you can ask other way, like because why these two are equal, so why can't I create the name one also in new string operator? That way you can export as name one with new string of same, right? Values will be same, but the address will be might be 300 or 300 or 400. I'm not sure. These are all quite different, but these two, any number of variables, if you declare not even two, even if you declare 3 variables or 4 variables, 3 or 4, if you declare n number of data types, if you declare, those will be having same address. There's no difference at all. If you're declaring in string literal way, if you declare with the same value n number of variables, the address will be same. And if you declare with new keyword, these addresses will be differ. Definitely it will differ. We can run the application now. We just clear this. False again, because these addresses are different, and this equal to operator is not exactly checking the values of the string, it is actually checking the addresses. So the reason is there is a concept called as string constant pool. So these memory allocation will happen in heap memory. In heap, every time when you create a new keyword, whenever you are using, it's a new memory allocation will be created. There, this value will be stored. And if you create one more string, name3, then new memory allocation will be created. There, the string name James will be stored. That is the reason always how many strings you will be creating, those many memory allocations are created in heap memory. Their addresses will be different for each new string type. But the literal case, it actually stored in one string constant pool. So how many reference variables you will be creating, it will actually point to the same address, and it will actually give same output for this case as well. And that is the reason equals even this case also, if you use the string literal case or new string case, it will actually check the addresses, not the value of the strings. So this is not recommended way to compare the strings. If you want to check the addresses of the two values, there is a way to do that. I'll explain you in coming slides about string constant pool and why these two are not matching, and uh, how the memory allocation will happen in a diagrammatic way. That sense a lot, and even this is a very important topic, and every interview people will ask this, and depends on this knowledge they judge you how good you are in core Java. So the other way will be compare to method. Compare to method, if the way to do this is, so first we covered string dot equals, right? Suppose for this case, even for this case, we can check this condition. Suppose I can write name1 dot equals name2. So these are all the strings we have created with the new operator, and I'll be using equals operator instead of double equal to. I'll be using equals operator. We'll see the both the outputs. What the output will come, we'll see it right now. So this is true. As I mentioned, you have to use the equals method to compare the values of the strings. So for addresses, you have to use this. So the other way to do this is this out, or I can take other values for that to make compare to method understanding. You can keep these lines as it is in a comment. String name1 equal to James, name2 equal to same case James. Compare to name2. We'll check this value, what actually returns. I'll just clear this console first. How compare method will return result 0. This is looking crazy, right? Earlier for equals, double equals method and equals method will be getting true or false, either boolean values will be getting, and this one will be getting 0. The reason is it actually compares the content of the string with the hash code of the, whether both are same or not, or if any character is bigger or smaller character is available or not. I'll tell you this way. I'm just writing a letter, so I'm just comparing these so you can understand better. So I'm just writing a, this is giving 0 because both are same. So I'm just writing b instead of a. I'll be comparing these two strings, so it is giving -1. So the reason is this is a is smaller than b, that is the reason it is giving -1. What will happen if I make this as d? So now name1 is bigger than b, so the expected output will be 2. So this is actually giving random numbers. The core meaning is here, like, you just need to understand it is actually giving positive, 0 or negative values, right? When the case it will give positive means if the first name is bigger, whatever the name you're mentioning, the name one is bigger, it is actually returning plus values. It will give any random numbers. There's no guarantee of giving what number it is. It will give random numbers. And compare to method actually checks whether the both are equal or not in terms of which is bigger or which is smaller. Or you can type a for apple, I can write b for bat, right? Oh, I forgot my basics. Before bat I wrote, so now it is showing -1 because the apple is stronger, lesser than bat. The reason is it is actually checking the first character. Whenever it fails, it is actually returning that number. Suppose if I write, say for cat here, returns 1. So whatever the character, it actually checks alphabetical order in ascending way, A, B, C, D, A to Z. It will actually check whichever is bigger. That way it will actually checks and it will actually return 0, -1 and 1. So you can consider as 0 means it is a quite same. If you're putting cat and cat here, so it is printing 0. So if it is something dog, if you put, then it actually return -1. So it depends on which one is bigger. If name 1 is bigger, then it actually return positive values. If name 2 is bigger, then it will actually return minus values. If both are same, it will actually return 0. So these are three types of comparisons. I can tell. I can put it in comment section so you can easily understand. Name 1 is bigger than positive value, either 1, 2 or anything, you can get it. If name 2 is bigger, any number -1, -2, -3, anything you can get it. Some minus number you will get it. Name 1 and name 2 are equal, then you will be getting 0. So this is the standard for using compare to method. So this is actually used for suppose if you need to sort some elements in name ascending order or the descending order, so that case will be used for compare to methods. And there is a different ways to using compare to. Suppose there is a list of names, if you need to sort those names with ascending order or descending order, so that is the case will be useful these kind of methods. So I'll have a separate tutorial for that, for comparing strings and making order of elements, so we can discuss over there. So for basic explanation, so for comparing strings there are three ways. One is double equal to, other one is equals or equals ignore case, and compare to method, and the most preferred way will be equals method or equals ignore case. These are all the two preferred methods to compare the strings. Now we can go with the next slide. So strings are immutable. So what is immutable? Immutable in the sense it is not changeable. I'll tell you how. Maybe I'll create a new class for that. String test2. So strings are immutable. What is the purpose of string immutable? Why I'm always using names, I'll be using different name, which is Kim. So I have a name Kim. So I want to change name equal to Geo. So I'm just renaming those values, reassigning those values. So now the expected output will be Geo. It is just replacing the previous string, correct? So now I'm trying to, instead of replacing a string, what I'm trying is, there is a method called concat Kim Geo. I want to print. The expectation is Kim Geo. So I wrote name as Kim and I'm doing name.concat, which is concatenation of geo. The expected what the output I'm expecting, it will be Kim geo. We'll see how the output will come. It's giving only Kim. The reason is this name, as I mentioned, it is not immutable. It is not able to allow you to change the value, like appending the value. It will change the value. You can able to replace the string like how we did. Earlier we did was named name equal to geos. It is actually replaced it. It is not actually appended it. Now I'm trying to append it using concat method, which is available in string class. So the way to do this is name equal to, if you run this, then you can get the expected output, which is Kim geo. The reason is, so this is actually we are appending here, and again we are actually reassigning the value. We are not appending the value, we are actually reassigning the value for the reference variable. Then only the value getting appended, it is showing actually. So what will happen in the string constant pool is a concept. Then what will happen is, so this is the string constant pool. So what here doing is, there is a search in keyword, and we can consider here search in instead of Kim Tendulkar. So Sachin Tendulkar. So what will happen is, for Sachin it will have one memory allocation, and Sachin Tendulkar, for the whole string it will have two memory allocations will be created. One is for Sachin, suppose address will be 100. For Sachin Tendulkar the address will be 200. So there are two memory allocations got created. What will happen is, once you create the string name with Sachin, and this memory will be created in 100, and 100 will be referenced to name. So what will happen if you concat, again a new string will be created in string constant pool, and that address will be 200. That is actually pointing to name. So the old string Sachin will be there in the different address, which is 100. It is not actually overridden. There are two strings available in the string constant pool. So this is a important concept, string constant pool. So what are the memory allocations are happening, how the memory allocations are happening, and what is the benefit of string constant pool, we can see it right now. So as we discussed in previous example, there are other different ways of creating strings, right? Either string literal or creating new operator, new string we will be doing, right? So whenever you create a string with a new keyword, the memory allocation happen within the heap. So out of the string constant pool, here the memory allocation will happen in this area. So if you are doing string literal, the memory allocation happen here. Suppose if you have Sachin alone, and you will be using Sachin here every time, so the memory address will be 100, and every time how many number of variables will be declaring, it actually point to Sachin. And in case of modification of string literal, if you're trying to change any modification in the literal case and string class, so the again one more variable, one more string will be created in string constant pool and a different address. It is actually pointing to the variable which is name in our case. So to repeat, there are two ways to create strings. One is string literal, other one is string using new keyword. So if you're having string literals with the same value, so the addresses will be same, which is saved in string constant pool, and but that is the reason it is actually pointing n number of variables. If you create it, is actually pointing to one address, which is 100 in this case. And if you're creating using new operator, different addresses will be created, and it will actually pointing to different locations. Suppose name 1 will be pointing to 300 address, and name 2 is pointing to 200 address. And that's one thing. And for comparing strings, there are three ways. One is double equal to, and equals ignore case method, and compare to. The recommended will be equals and equals ignore case. So coming back to our current topic, which is about string immutable. It is not possible to change the string data type. We can able to replace with the new string like how we did here. So there is no way of editing string data type over here. So that's about it. So what is mutable string? So as this is not mutable, if this is not allowing to allow me to edit the string, until unless I need to replace it, it is not allowing. As I'm reassigning the value to the existing variable, it is not allowing me to edit. So what other ways, if I want to append any string, suppose if Sachin is there, so in between SCI I need to insert some character, or if I need to insert some board, instead of doing this concat and all, reassigning and all. So what is the way of doing it? So instead of I'm not interested to reassign the value every time. So I just want to append value or delete some part of code, some part of string. So what is the best way of doing? That is what called as mutability. So for that, I'll be creating a new class which is mutable string. I'll be creating a class name. So the intention is to, if I need to edit a string, I need to modify a string. Either way, like if I need to insert or delete or any kind of operations, I need to do it in a string. So for that, in Java, there are two different classes are provided. One is string builder and string buffer. So these are all the two different classes Java is provided for mutable string. So string is a class we have already seen, which is immutable. This is mutable. Immutable means non-editable. Mutable means editable or modifiable. Editing means you can able to insert or delete or any kind of operation. You can to do any as part of this. So string is immutable, and string builder and string buffer are mutable. We can see it practical. We can keep it here. Go to the comment section. So now we'll be testing with one of either of one. We can see it. So I'll be writing string builder or buffer. First I'll go with the buffer. Same, I'll be using same keyboard as name. New string buffer of, like how we are declaring a new keyword with the string operator, the same way we'll be using here. I'll be using James. So I'll be printing this value name. So just running this code. Before that, I'm just clearing this output. I'm running this code. It is printing. So it is actually taking the previous output. Before running this, before using this command, it is recommended to use at least you need to right click on and run this file, then the continuation will be followed. Otherwise, we'll be getting the previous output. That's what we got it now. So this is a way of creating string buffer. So there is other type we have string builder name to new string builder of Kim. I'll be printing that name as well. I'm just running this file. So it printed James and Kim. So we already seen string we can able to create, and string buffer and string builder. So as we already have one type which is string buffer or string builder, why they have implemented two classes? What is the necessary having with the same feature? What is the necessary having two classes? We can have it one itself. I can tell you later why it is actually. Now we can see, first we can see what is editable. So now I'm doing name dot c. You will be getting methods like append, insert, delete. You'll be getting, if you want to delete any characters, insert, you'll be getting in what range you want to insert. So first we can try append. James John. Just wrote James John. That's it. I'm not assigning anything like how we did for string. I'm not assigning. So for here we try like we have to reassign the value, then only it is getting printed for Sachin Tendulkar. If you want to print, you just need to append that. So maybe I can use the same names if you wish, then you will be getting clear. So here I need to reassign using assignment operator. I need to reassign this. Here for this I don't need to reassign. I'm not assigning. I'm just using the append operator. That's it. I'm just printing the name. We'll see how Sachin will print. So it prints Sachin Tendulkar and Kim. So to make sure our file is running, so it is printing Sachin Tendulkar, and the next statement will be Kim. It is printed. For Kim also I want to append something. Kim 0. So I'm just writing two types. One is string buffer and string builder, and I'm just doing same methods. So for string buffer and string builder, there is no method differences at all. What are the methods are available for string buffer? All the methods are available for string builder. So I'm just appending. So I got Sachin Tendulkar, also Kim Geo. So also if I need to delete this, delete some portion of the value. Suppose I want to delete this ZE. How to delete that? Name2 dot delete, or you can able to. There are two ways of deleting. One is delete start and end index you have to give. The other one is if you give particular character at index, if you give, then it will actually delete. I'll show you the first one, caret. Suppose if I want to delete the first if I letter I want to delete within this, so I'll be getting 0 1 first index I'll be giving. We'll see what Kim Geo will be looking like. See, I got deleted, so there is no I character over here. So I can able to, first the string will be having Kim and Geo, and I'll be deleting character at 1, which is 0 1 index will be I. So there is other method we have seen, which is delete, which is taking start and end of the indexes. The start index will be 0 1 2. So what I tell you is I'll be deleting Z and E. The index will be 0 1 2 3 4. So third index and third to fourth index I'll be deleting. We'll see the output now. See, now you can able to 3 to 5 I have to give, not 4, 3 to 5. See, now I can able to delete the, so this end index will be taking one number higher, so that is how this is working. That is the reason giving 3 and one higher level index. So now I got Kim and Geo got appended, and I'll be deleting ZE within the Kim Geo. So these are we can able to achieve um, modifications in string. So this is called mutable string. So what is the reason having two classes with the same functionality? Even this one also, these also having same methods, the delete and delete caret, everything, all the methods are same. What is the reason having two classes with the same functionality? There is no use, right? Having the same features of two classes, there is no reason. So the major reason difference between these two classes is the string buffer actually thread safe, and string builder is not thread safe. What is a thread safe? Suppose if multiple people or multiple threads want to access this string buffer for modification, it won't allow actually. Suppose if you are booking any ticket like the multi-threading concept, I'll explain you all detail. I'm just giving a general example. Suppose if you're booking a ticket in IRCTC, so there is a limited number of seats will be there. Until unless one request got processed, then other request won't allow to execute. So suppose if you and me both are trying to book a ticket, so if I hit a submit button first, so what it will do is first it will actually process my request first. Once my ticket allocation and everything is done, then it will actually allow you to process your request. So the same way the string buffer will work. So in as we are running our code in a multi-threaded environment, so many user requests will come. So the string buffer will not allow to modify string value whatever it is there if multiple threads are trying to access actually. So in case of string builder, it will actually non-synchronized, which is it will actually allow to multiple threads to execute, and it will actually modify the string. So that is the difference. This is thread safe, this is not thread safe. You can say synchronized, it is not synchronized. So multiple threads can able to access and modify the string with the string builder, not with the string buffer. That is the major difference between these two classes, and these both are mutable. Just now we saw the examples how it is. So these about mutable and immutable string, and I have written like a string is immutable, and mutable are string builder and string buffer. And difference between these two is one is synchronized, other one is non-synchronized. That's it. We can go back to the slides. So the methods we have seen, there are different methods we have: insert, delete, and suppose if you need to get a particular character, you can able to get it using caret method. Name dot get chars. See, if you see get chars begin range, end range you can give, then you can able to get, or caret method will be there if you want to get the particular character for particular index. Suppose if you're passing 0th index, you will be getting S letter itself. So caret of 0 if you give, then it will actually return letter S. So there are different methods available. You can just need to click on the variable name and control space, then you can listing all the methods, whatever is available, it will be listing all the methods. So you can able to get index of a particular string. If you give, it will actually return the index. Suppose if you give any character over here, D, if you give, what is the index of it, it will actually return. So there are different methods available in string buffer and string builder class. If you go through the one API for the method reference, both will be same. And creating immutable class. So as we saw, like these are all the predefined mutable and immutable classes. So if I want to create my own class as immutable, like how string is working, so it is not allowing to modify. So what is the way to create immutable class? You can see it right now.